And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's City Commission meeting. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation by Commissioner Joaquin Zamora. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could take a moment to bow our heads. Lord, we pray for wisdom, for strength, for courage to do what is right and good for all our citizens of McAllen this evening. May we put the interests of others above our own. May we act with love for the common good. May we be good neighbors, recognizing your image in every person here today. May you give us wisdom and discernment this evening as we go about today's agenda, giving all the glory to you. In Lord Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. And we have proclamations. We have, actually, proclamation, it's mine. Everybody got. And good evening, everybody. You know, I think everybody knows that the city of McAllen has been dealing with immigration issues probably for about 13 years now. And we always say it's something that a municipality doesn't do, or even the state, but we have to deal with it. So we do as best as we can. We had last year, I got an award for courage to lead because of what I had done in immigration, or what the city had done in immigration, and that was nice. When I was there, we also had learned that Sister Pimentel had also received an award. And then I thought, well, you know what? I remember about 2 years ago when the influx was really difficult. And whenever we talk about immigrants, we don't take positions. Whether they're legal, illegal, it doesn't matter to us. We do whatever we can for public safety reasons. But 2 years ago, we were in a meeting and we get a call from Sister Pimentel that they couldn't handle it anymore, that they needed our help. And I don't know if you all remember, it's when we had to do a tent on 23rd Street, because we had to. We got calls from the community, they were in an uproar, but we had to do something, and that's what we did right there and then. That very same night, we were at a commission meeting. And we were holding that meeting at the golf course. And I remember we were talking about what can we do? And I don't know who or what came up with the idea, what about Ansalduas? And I'm thinking about, okay, here we are in trouble because we had to do a camp here on the city limits, but we may be getting somebody else in trouble if we really do get them to help. I made a call and hoping that maybe somebody could assist. So I made a call to our commissioner. And I always remember, because he answers his phone, ¿Qué pasó, mi mayor? You know, and he always does. And you hear the friendly voice. And I said, I don't know how to ask. Commish, we need your help. We need your help. What's going on? Well, this is what's going on. We have this immigrant issue. We're going to put a camp tonight. But, I mean, we know we can't do it here. So we asked, can you help us with Ansalduas? And you know what? He hesitated for about 3 seconds. But then he said, you know what? If we need to do, we'll do whatever we need to do. So I always say, you know, he helped us when McAllen needed the help. So I thought after all the stuff we've done, after I receive awards, after this, you know what? Why don't we do a Commissioner Ever Villarreal Day? So today I'm happy. I'm not going to read it, but because of all the good stuff that what he has done to assist us with the issues we had with immigration, to keep our community safe, his community, our community, we want to proclaim today Hidalgo County Precinct 3 Commissioner Ever Villarreal Day.
Honor, not just for me, but for my family. You know, out of all the responsibilities that we have, all of us here, we put the safety and health of our residents first all the time. And I'm gonna tell you that the mayor and the commissioners have been champions in protecting our citizens, and I'm just happy to have answered the call to continue to serve the residents of our precinct. So, Mayor, thank you. Commissioner, thank you so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you all very much. Thank you.
The next proclamation is National Engineers Week. Commissioner Castillo.
It's 1B2, 1C1, 1C1, and we'll see what that one is. No, that's not it. Okay, it's one.
Good afternoon. Proclamation. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, and City of McAllen. Whereas Engineers Week was started in 1951 by the National Society of Professional Engineers to raise public awareness of engineers' positive contributions to quality of life. And whereas engineers use their scientific and technical knowledge and skills to provide planning design, and oversight for the traffic, transportation, water, and wastewater systems, and storm damage systems for the City of McAllen. And whereas engineers face the majority technological challenges of our time, from rebuilding towns devastated by natural disasters to providing planning, design, and oversight for the various projects located within the City of McAllen. And whereas the important efforts of engineers help drive the economy in the City of McAllen, protect our environment, and ensure public safety. And whereas engineers continue to encourage our young students to realize the importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs and degrees in our region. And whereas we will look more than ever to engineers and their knowledge and skills to meet the challenges of our future, and the efforts and contributions of the engineering profession to the City of McAllen should be acknowledged. Now therefore, I, Rodolfo Ruiz Castillo, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by virtue of authority vested in me and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim February 18th through the 24th, 2024 as National Engineers Week. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commission, Mayor, for this recognition. I'd also like to thank everyone here that takes this time to recognize engineers and everything that they do for our community and beyond. I'd also, as y'all know, engineering is not a one-man show, so we gotta recognize the effort that goes on behind the scenes from our transportation, drainage, water, sewer engineers, who all contribute to make the great City of McAllen function the way it does. I'd also like to take some time to recognize the outside engineers who also work together with the city in ensuring that we maintain the safety and welfare of our community as our utmost priority. So thank you all. Thank you again.
Next, we have National Burn Awareness Week, Chief Gloria. And Commissioner Haddad.
Hey, Chief. Gentlemen. How y'all doing? Good evening. City of McAllen Proclamation. Whereas burn injuries continue to be one of the leading causes of accidental death and injury in our nation, where tragically children, the elderly, and the disabled are especially vulnerable to burn injuries, and almost 1/3 of all burn injuries occur in children under the age of 15. In the United States, the CDC reports 276,086 people received medical care for treatment of unintentional burn injuries in 2020, with 3,028 deaths from fire and smoke inhalation. Children under 5 were 2 times as likely to be seen for burn injuries at hospitals. Young adults from 20 to 29 had 1.4 times the risk, and those in the 30 to 39 age group had 1.3 times the risk of the general population. The primary causes of injury include fire flame, scalds, contact with hot objects, and electrical and chemicals. Most of the injuries occurred in the home. National Burn Awareness Week helps make the public aware of the frequency, devastation, and causes of burn injuries. The theme for 2024 National Burn Awareness Week is flammable liquids, where a common risk of injury exists. Furthermore, burn safety education and prevention efforts from the McAllen Fire Department Community Risk Reduction staff continue to reduce the number of people who suffer burns each year. Now, therefore, I, Sebi Haddad, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, by virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim February 4th through the 10th, 2024, as National Burn Awareness Week. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Juan Gloria. I'm your City of McAllen Fire Chief, and I want to say thank you to our mayor, our elected officials, for giving us the opportunity to share this message here today. Every day is an opportunity to prevent an injury, and here we're focusing on burn prevention. And so while statistically over 96% of people survive burn injuries, many of them have to live, the rest of their life with not just the scars of those injuries, but not just the physical scars, but also the emotional scars of the trauma of undergoing such events. And so, again, we want to say thank you. Le queremos dar las gracias a nuestro presidente municipal y a nuestros regidores por darnos la oportunidad de proveerles este mensaje de prevención de quemaduras. Estamos enfatizando el prevenir quemaduras y, como lo dijeron, lo comentamos en las estadísticas, la mayoría de las personas que salen lastimadas son menores, y este año nos estamos enfocando mucho en lo que vienen siendo los peligros con los líquidos flamables. Entonces, también aunque las estadísticas nos dicen que el 96% de las personas o de las víctimas sobreviven, es importante reconocer de que tienen que vivir el resto de sus vidas con el trauma no únicamente físico, pero también emocional de haber sufrido tal evento. Entonces, con eso en mente, muchas gracias. On behalf of the McAllen Fire Department, please be safe out there.
Next we have Government Communications Day. Commissioner Cabeza de Vaca.
Good afternoon. City of McAllen Proclamation, State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen. Whereas the role of government communications profession is to inform, educate, and engage their communities. And whereas robust communication in government creates trust and inspires residents to take action and be involved. Whereas government communications create relationships and calls to action, build awareness and understanding through storytelling, engage and foster engagement on civic issues, and use all channels to include people in critical decisions. And whereas it is essential to have strong communications in government, because it is a foundational element of living in a democracy where citizens have the freedom to make their voice heard. And whereas the City of McAllen is proud and has deep gratitude and recognition for government communicators professionals, dedication and hard work, commitment, enthusiasm, and sacrifice. Now thereof, I, Pepe Cabeza de Vaca, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, by virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim February 24th of 2024 as Government Communicators Day. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the Office of Communications. We, along with 11 other departments across the City of McAllen who have dedicated individuals who promote the projects, program services, and events that we host for the benefit of our residents. It's nice to be recognized for the work that we do to help inform the community, the media, help to keep our government transparent and make sure that important information, especially in times of emergency, is relayed to those who need it. So thank you for allowing us to do what we enjoy to help promote the City of McAllen.
Thank you for all you do.
Next, we have public hearings.
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. Tonight we have 4 items listed under routine. As always, they come with a favorable recommendation from Planning and Zoning and receive no opposition to P&Z. They can be approved in one motion or discussed separately as desired. They are an R2 to C2 at 803 South 15th Street, a rezoning from C2 to C3 at 2400 South McCall, a conditional use permit for 1 year for a bar at 110 North 16th, that's Suite B, and a conditional use permit for life of the use for a planned unit development at 2601 North Ware Road.
On 1A1, it's 830 South 15th Street, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Sorry, transcribe that.
And I'm reclusing myself from item 1A4, 1B2, and 1C1 from participating.
Okay, anybody here to speak against the items? Yes, sir.
Hello. I don't know if I still can talk about 1C1, or do I have to
We're
wait?
not on that one yet.
We're not on that one.
Sorry about that.
1A1 through 1A4.
Anybody to speak against any of those items? No?
Move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
Item B is a rezoning from R1 to C3 at 2312 Galveston Avenue. This property is located on the northeast corner of South 24th and Galveston Avenue. Adjacent zoning is C3 to the east and south, R1 to the north and west. Surrounding uses include single-family homes as well as commercial uses. The applicant is requesting C3 to develop land for a commercial use that would complement his property, which is to the east. Staff did receive phone calls in opposition citing traffic and property value concerns. The item was presented at the January 10th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, where some residents spoke in opposition. After some discussion, P&Z unanimously recommended disapproval. So a supermajority of those present today is needed for approval.
Anybody speak against the item? Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. B1?
B1.
Galveston, yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Guillermo Maciel. I live at 2400 Galveston. That would be Roland Subdivision, Lot 9. Okay? It is directly across the street from this lot that they're asking for it to be zoned commercial. Okay. All of lots 1 through 14 in Roland Addition Subdivision are single-family residential. Most of us are second-generation owners. We got the property from our parents. There's one that's almost third already. She's here representing her father who cannot be here. We are against the rezoning, making it commercial, because we have been feeling encroachment from the commercial that is toward the east, off of 23rd Street, across the street from Galveston, all the way to 24th Street on the south side of Galveston. Galveston is as far as I understand, is a residential street. It is not a commercial street. But we get a lot of traffic for the Thigpen Zavala School. When it is cold or rainy, parents will come off of 23rd on Galveston, go up 24th, west on Fresno, and then back in to go drop off their children. Then they come back out on Galveston Street and back up at the light of Galveston and 23rd. It makes it very hard for us to back out of our driveways. And there was, I have one neighbor that lives on 24th Street that tries to exit or go to work on, turn right on Galveston Street, and he has problems doing that because the traffic is backed up all the way to 25th, and sometimes even more. Again, against it. We circulated a petition. I believe there's about 9 or 10 signatures, which is just about all of us at that residential neighborhood. Other than that, I do not know what else to add.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Yvonne, and I do live around Fresno Street. And to add to what Mr. Guillermo said, everything is correct, everything is true. Now, I do want to add that at one point, we did come to the meeting, and it was requested that at Rio's Tires on 23rd and Galveston, that they open a taco stand. Great, you said yes. They opened a taco stand. Now it's 3 taco stands in that same facility, in that same Rio's Tires. So now it's become kind of crazy. At night, the music is loud, and I mean loud, and I mean at 3:30 in the morning, and I do mean every day. Just last night, they had, Saturday night, they had mariachis. And this was at, I would say 2:30 in the morning. Now we're talking about across the street. They want to open what kind of business? Is it going to be the same? Are we going to have the same? What are they opening up? Are they opening up a garage? So once they open up, it's going to be the same across the street, taco stands, and I'm talking about 3 taco stands. So is it going to be the same? We don't know. But we are opposed to that. I'm opposed to that. I've lived in that neighborhood for years, and if every neighbor would be like our neighbors that care and call the police when there's, loud music, then McAllen would be great to live in. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Do we have the applicant?
Hi, good afternoon.
Ma'am,
my name
before
is-
you begin, I just want to remind anybody that's speaking for public comment that we do have a 3-minute time limit.
Okay.
Nobody's exceeded it yet, but I just want to make sure that
Sure.
the audience knows.
Good afternoon. My name is Claudia Mendiola. I live on 2408 Galveston Avenue. I'm representing my father. I agree with both of my neighbors, and we wouldn't want, and I'm sure if you would live right where we live, I don't think you would want that property to be commercial. Because I don't think you would want to wake up in the morning, drink your cup of coffee, and you see a commercial in front of you. You would want to see a residential, a park, something decent. We have a daycare in front of us. We have a car lot. We have the business of the tires, plus the mobile restaurants, plus we have, the other plaza that's in front of us. So just take a time and pass by there, anytime during the weekend, especially Friday and Saturday nights, and just see the traffic that goes through there and how uncomfortable it might be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? That? Commission?
Make a motion to disapprove said item to rezone.
I would second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Next item.
The next item is a rezoning from R1 to R3T at 9228 North Bicentennial Boulevard. This property is located along the east side of North Bicentennial, approximately 740 feet north of Northgate Avenue. Adjacent zoning is R3T to the north and then R1 in all other directions. Surrounding uses include townhomes, single-family homes, and the applicant is requesting R3T for a townhome development. Development trend in the area is single-family homes as well as townhomes. Staff did receive 2 letters in opposition citing privacy concerns, noise, and property values. Today, we received 3 more letters citing basically the same thing, property values, noise, traffic issues. The item was presented at the January 24th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting where 3 neighbors spoke in opposition, citing the same things. After some discussion, the board unanimously recommended approval of the request.
Anybody speak against the item?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. Humberto Tijerina on Northgate Lane. I wasn't able to make the meeting for planning and zoning, but a neighbor called me concerned about what was going on. I wasn't planning on showing up, but after listening to more and more of the concerns and thinking about this, I attended the State of the City and excellent presentation, Mayor, on the spirit of McAllen. It inspired me to be here because I've been in McAllen for a while, and the area that we live in right now, as y'all are aware, is single-family residential. We've been here before last year. Single-family residential townhomes are to the north, and then we have trailer homes further north already. So one of the arguments that planning and zoning makes is that, well, we need more townhomes in the area. There's already townhomes accounted for, right? The natural progression should be from the townhome area that we have, that area right there should be single-family home. The previous plan for McAllen and the current plan for McAllen call for a continuation of single-family home. Let's not rock the boat and change things. Let's keep in the spirit of McAllen what's been called for, which is single-family zoning for that area. We have large homes to the south of that tract. Mr. Wilkins has already acquired a tract to the west of that current tract where he's doing high-end single-family homes. There's no reason why single-family homes should be done in that area, especially now with the development that's coming out for the Domain, which is a beautiful project, which is commensurate to having more single-family homes in the area so that we can change the character of the neighborhood that we're in. Now, consider this. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to really drive down Bicentennial coming from the north to the south. It's going to be a dangerous situation. Coming from an attorney, it's going to be a dangerous situation that's being created if cars are allowed to turn left onto a townhome area where over 160 cars could be coming in and out, right? There's going to be more accidents, more injuries, and more deaths if that decision is allowed. If you're coming from the south to the north, the same thing. This road winds and curves. People are driving 50 miles an hour. It is bound to create a dangerous condition for our community if we allow townhomes. Single-family homes, there's less cars coming in and out. There's less parties that are going to be happening, so it's less likely to lead to a dangerous condition. We have other neighbors with large tracts in the area. If this is approved, we're going to have townhomes everywhere in that case, because other neighbors have already indicated that if this is approved today, then they're going to request a 3RT zoning for that whole area, completely destroying the character of where we currently live. Just imagine you being in an area like this, or wherever you are, and it growing into a townhome area. There's nothing wrong with townhomes. We like them, but the spirit calls for single-family homes in the area. That's why we request that you oppose this and vote against it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mayor, Commission, thank you for allowing me to speak. I also live on Northgate Lane, and
Jaime, can we just get you to identify yourself, please?
thank you, Jaime Gonzalez, and I live at 1500 Northgate Lane.
Thank you.
And just to give a little history, when I wanted to build a nice home, I looked at various cities and I decided McAllen offered the best consistency, the better government, and reliance on the things that the city has promised in the past. I put in a lot of money. We built a nice home. Nothing special. A lot of the homes on Northgate Lane are beautiful homes. In fact, it is the only place, a one-of-a-kind in the entire city of McAllen north of Highway 83. It's a beautiful place. We love it. We like to live there. But the area between us and Bellagio, I agree with Mr. Tijerina, should be a single-family place. There should be a transition. I see from the city saying, well, there's already R3T right there. Let's add an R3T here. But perhaps the vision should be the reverse. They're beautiful homes that you do not find in the rest of your city north of Highway 83. Maybe we should look at their perspective and say, can we build a transition to protect them? Because I know what's going to happen. If you pass it, my neighbor to the west has already told me, if they build, I build. And if I would have ever known I'm going to put this amount of money into this city and pay my taxes, only to know that the county government is simply going to put 50% of all my sides with family, with townhomes, I would have just gone somewhere else. We just want peace. We want quiet. We're not against progress. And I understand that progress must come. But I do ask of the city to at least look at what you are impacting. It's just not any ordinary neighborhood. This is a really nice, beautiful neighborhood. People have been there for a very long time. And to impact them now like this, I just think it's unbecoming. And I want to also tell that when Bicentennial came in, it was a whole different slew. But I remember clearly telling us, Jaime, don't worry about it. You really need to get together, help the city so that Bicentennial can come through. It is a thoroughfare to get in and out and to get to the airport. We're not interested in opening the street to anything. We're not putting gas stations in here. And it took 10 years, and now anybody that's got any tiny piece of land is now being able to puncture through Bicentennial. The city knew when the city built and made those promises that there would be land, that it would be landlocked. Now, this property isn't landlocked. The owners that sold own all the way through 10th Street. The fact that they intentionally sell land that's landlocked so that the city can therefore give them an access to Bicentennial is a different story. Anyway, I'm done. I just appreciate it and think of a PUD before actually voting, only because it impacts a beautiful park. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. If you look at this, I'm Dr. Desai, by the way, and I own 1220 Northgate Lane, one of the unit there. We have good house. I'm not complaining about anything that they are converting this. My main complaint is that if you put, and I also explained to Eduardo that if you put this many units in this area, the traffic going to the bicentennial will be exuberant, and you are inviting accident-prone bicentennial rather than quiet bicentennial. It's curved in such a way that people who are coming bicentennial, and if you have green light on Northgate, you want to reach 107 very fast, you are going to have accident there. Many accident if you put this many unit. That you should consider, and I'm not against this, whatever R2, R1 to R3, but I'm giving you foresight that if they want to do it, you have to demand that they should open up either 107 or on Northgate or Freddy Gonzalez. The access should be there, not on bicentennial. You should look into it, even though you consider very seriously giving them R3. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening to you. My name is Carmen Pacheco. My husband and I live in 1212 Northgate Lane. I'm here to express my strong opposition to the rezoning for townhouses in the back of my property. Planning staff, in this memo, they said that 162 dwelling units will be allowed. It seems unrealistic, 162 units, but it can be done. Once you prove it, the city cannot refute it. 162 families with an average of 4 family members will be 648 residents in this small tract of land. This will be overpopulated area behind our homes and will impact negatively our quality of life, potentially reduce appeal to future buyers, and will lower the property values of our homes. We own 5 acres. We have about 100 trees or more. It's a habitat for many different birds and other wildlife. The increase of noise, pollution, and traffic will surely diminish the habitat of wildlife that we love. That's why we bought this property. We can't find anything close to the city. 5 acres with this kind of landscape. Also, the trash of the overpopulated area will attract other rats and other nasty animals, making a bigger risk of sanitation issues. The traffic should be a great concern to the city. The city is not going to open hubs to 10th Street. They already told us that they're going to give us back the land that the city took from the behind of our property for the right-of-way to hubs. So the only exit will be of 320 cars. I think that's a fair. Most of the families have 2 cars. Those cars will be only exiting to Bicentennial. In the ongoing and future developments close to this property, the number will keep increasing. For one-time $700 fee, you will sacrifice the landscape beauty of a neighborhood forever. They can go to the park, but the neighborhood is not going to be having green areas that makes the city beautiful. But all these problems can be minimized greatly if you keep it one single family zone. I just need to add a little bit.
We need to ask you to wrap it up, please.
Excuse me?
That's your time, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you
so
for your
much.
time.
Anybody else? All
Rubén Pacheco, 1212 Northgate Lane. El señor ya aplicó antes, el año pasado, y se le negó. Ahora regresa para mí con la misma cosa. Él tiene derecho a aplicar, pero nosotros también tenemos derecho a negarnos. Ese derecho nos lo hemos ganado al vivir ahí 20 o 30 años. Y su derecho, pues, choca con el de nosotros. El reporte dice que multifamily es lo que quieren poner, a townhouses. En esa categoría tienen ustedes 3 niveles: departamentos, condominios y townhouses, que son lo mismo porque están en la misma zona incluidos, aunque algunos de ustedes lo quieran pintar de otra manera. Las personas que estaban antes en el lugar de ustedes lo designaron residencial hace 30, 40 años. Ellos formaron lo que hoy es McAllen y decidieron correctamente. No ofendo a nadie al decir que tenían más experiencia que ustedes, por naturaleza eran más viejos. Y ustedes tomaron una ciudad muy bien planeada y formada, y todo lo que tienen que hacer es mantener la inercia de su crecimiento al mismo nivel o mejor. Esta área la quieren cambiar a townhouses, que es una categoría que va a devaluar mi propiedad. El reporte dice que el 99% de las casas son single family, pero el 1% son townhouses, y por ese 1% debemos de construir más townhouses. No sé qué tenga más peso, el 99% o el 1%. Pelayo presentó los mismos argumentos que nosotros, a ellos los defendieron inmediatamente y a nosotros no nos quieren ver. ¿Somos ciudadanos diferentes? No tengo idea. El reporte dice que la ciudad también debe de promover la construcción de townhouses para diversificar. ¿Qué significa eso? La ciudad no tiene la facultad de promover nada. La empresa privada construye lo que le es más productivo. Y Velayo se tomó 14 años en venderse. Qué buen negocio fue ese. 14 años para recuperar el dinero. No quieran imponernos townhouses atrás de nuestras casas. Yo no me meto con las de ustedes. Una vez que lo prueben, que aprueben uno de ellos, los otros van a llegar como moscas detrás de él. Parece que ustedes quieren imitar a las ciudades grandes como Dallas, Houston, Austin. Yo no sé si alguno de ustedes ha vivido por allá. Yo sí he vivido en todas de ellas, señores, y créanme, no les va a gustar. Aquí tenemos, un segundo. Aquí tenemos todo lo que necesitamos, menos el crimen y el tráfico. Ahora, lo último, no puedo creer que tengo nada más 3 minutos para defender lo que me llevó toda mi vida en hacer. Y lo peor es que tengo que pelear contra las personas que yo escogí para que me protejan. Y esos son todos ustedes. Gracias, señores.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Mayor, Commissioners, Ronnie Cruz, 1300 Northgate Lane. When we were out there, when I first bought out there, I was the first one out there in the north side on backing Hobbs. So we knew from day one, when I subdivided that property, there was going to be a street there. We knew it because we gave up 40-foot of right-of-way. Now, we didn't know what was going to happen north of there. There's nothing there. 10th Street was a 2-lane road. Trenton was a 2-lane road when I first moved out there. Now we're here. Of course, Vallejo came up with 3T there. We understand. Now, at the time, Bicentennial was not even, I don't think it was even in the plan back in the 90s. So they didn't know. Hobbs was supposed to go all the way to Ware Road from coming down from Edinburgh and crossing all the way to Ware Road. Bicentennial came in, created another issue, which is hard to put curb cuts on a street that size at the thoroughfare. And realize that. But now this land, that's the only way, because if it doesn't punch out at the 10th, it's got to go the other way. You can't, I guess, deny them access to their property. But when you try to put that many cars into a 2-lane, now if Bicentennial had a left turn lane in the middle, be a different story, but it doesn't in that area. It's only 4 lanes. So it'd be tough to turn left right now the way if this, all these residents come in there. Now, one thing that could have happened on this rezoning would have been a PUD, a planned unit development, where we knew exactly maybe what was going to be there. How many parcels, when this letter that came out, 162, they can put that many, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. A lot of these type of developments go on a 50-foot lot, and they go 6, then 0 lot line 6, 0 lot line like Spanish Oak, just like the Meadows, things like that. And those are a little bit different than putting townhouses on. I think McAllen has 25-foot frontage on the townhouse. So that's the reason you can put all these 160-some on that piece of property. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, if all these cars go into Bicentennial without doing some kind of traffic study on Bicentennial for those turn lanes. And I think that's what most of the people here is the traffic is going to create. Not that something's not going to happen. Something's going to happen there. Eventually, something will happen. We know that. But that's the reason I think most of the people are against it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Do we have the applicant? Not today. Okay, commission. Group. Talk to us.
Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
I had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Pacheco a couple of weeks ago, and it was brought to my attention that he and Mr. Tequerina did not receive notice. To be honest, I get so busy, I don't even remember if I sent you an email on that issue or not. I didn't. Do you have some sort of confirmation or a note or to indicate that those notices did go out?
Yes, sir. I have it here, actually. Both Mr. Pacheco and Mr. Tejerina were on our mail-out list, so they went out. Once they leave my office, they're in the care of the United States Postal Service. I can't vouch for them.
It's called in the legal side, it's called the mailbox rule, right? Once you pop it in the mailbox.
But to be fair, that is why there's 3 ways we notice, right? There's the sign, there's the newspaper advertisement, and then there's the mail-outs, to try to capture as many people as possible.
I understand. And has Mr. Pacheco or Mr. Tejerina, or for that matter, anybody who was within that zone called or notified your office by the fact that they didn't receive a notice?
Mr. Pacheco did, yes, sir.
Anybody else?
No.
No one else? Okay. I'm sorry. Mr. Pacheco? Could you come forward,
See,
Mr.
that's
Pacheco?
what he said.
Yo no recibí ninguna carta el año pasado. Para la Junta de Planning, 3 días antes, un vecino me comentó de eso. 3 días antes tengo que venir corriendo a Planning a ver qué pasa. Tengo que regresar a mi casa a traer comprobante de los impuestos, que esos llegan cada año, seguritos. Es imposible para mí creer que Planning, que es el que da las direcciones de cada casa en cada subdivisión nueva, hayan tenido mi dirección incorrecta por 20 años.
Pero lo bueno es que aquí está, señor Pacheco.
Ya estoy aquí, ¿verdad? Ahora, tengo ahí un reporte de la punta pasada de Planning, y ahí dice que nadie se presentó en oposición. Lo que el señor García dijo ahorita me toma de sorpresa, pero yo estuve en la Junta y aparece ahí, en el papel que tengo ahí, que nadie se opuso ni por carta, ni por teléfono, ni en presencia. Digo, el año pasado no me avisan y este año me ignoran, no sé. So, algo raro está pasando en ese departamento.
Mr. Pacheco, for the record, it
Yes,
does
sir.
say that there was opposition at the meeting.
Okay, bueno, no sé.
At the planning and zoning.
Okay, el documento que yo recogí, no sé si fue de planning o de aquí de la ciudad, dice lo contrario. Aquí lo traigo si acaso lo quieren ver.
No, aquí está enfrente de mí.
Okay.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Déjeme agregar una cosa. El departamento de zoning no tenía las direcciones correctas de nosotros. Nuestros lotes son 2 lotes y ninguno de los 2 nos dieron, no es nuestra dirección. Así que si las mandó, se pueden perder en el correo, pero si las manda a otra diferente dirección, no somos nosotros responsables de la mala información que tienen ellos, aunque es increíble, porque deben de basarse en el tax roll, la dirección, para poder mandarnos. Ahora, según, no sé, estamos viendo legalmente que esto, si tienes la dirección incorrecta, es ilegal que ustedes hagan una junta y no nos avisen a todos los vecinos. Pero esto no estoy segura. Pero de que vamos a averiguar, vamos a averiguar. Gracias.
Gracias. Commission.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
You knew this was going to happen.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Garcia, so with regards to the mailing address, I'm going to make a big leap here. Do you use the appraisal district listings and the mailboxes that the appraisal district uses to send out their tax notices?
Both state law and city code requires us to use what is in the most recent appraisal district rolls. Yes,
And
sir.
it's your affirmation, obviously,
Correct.
before the board today that that was done?
Correct.
All right.
With the wrong address?
No, sir. They put 1212 Northgate. They even put it on the letter they sent you guys.
Right.
That's the address we sent out.
Okay.
Again.
No, I understand.
Once it
I-
leaves
I-
my office.
I understand. I just want to make sure that you're using the same addresses that another taxing entity or another entity for that
Correct.
matter is that you're relying on that
Yes, sir.
information as well. Okay.
Then there's also another mechanism besides the sign and the newspaper.
Right.
So,
You know, I was born and raised in McAllen my whole life. I'm 52 years old. I'm very familiar with Northgate Lane. You are correct. All of your neighbors, that's a beautiful area of town. Always has been. A nice country feel, two-lane, country, county road, oversized lots. Mr. Pacheco, without saying, you have a beautiful yard, preserving the nature and wildlife habitat that we enjoy in the valley. It goes without saying, and just some gorgeous homes out there, and sometimes, we're victims of our own success here in McAllen. McAllen's obviously a very desirable place to live. And Mr. Tejeda used a phrase that I use a lot. How does this impact the rezoning, impact the character of the neighborhood? And that's one thing that I've done and I've always considered here. I think the points are all well taken by the neighbors there on Northgate Lane. I think you come together unified, for this. I do share your concern about the potential traffic conflicts that might be created with the street that's jutting out or intersecting with Bicentennial. But this is just the preliminary process. This is not a done deal. There's still other things having to do with the subdivision plat, with retention ponds, and a whole bunch of slew of other requirements. It's just basically, this is how many units that is projected to be on, but it doesn't account for any asphalt, street, retention pond. So in my eyes, we're looking at less, right? At least from my history serving on this board. All that said, the city is moving more north. I'm one that is very big on making sure that we make a sustainable, walkable city, making sure that we're infilling empty lots or empty properties. And as I previously said in the summer, but for the fact that Bicentennial opened up, that EEM card subdivision would still be vacant. The only thing that unlocked it was the creation of Bicentennial Boulevard. And while I certainly sympathize with your concern about the traffic is going to come out into Bicentennial. It's not coming out to Northgate. Now, I can assure you, and I don't want to make or make some promise, but I can tell you this. I don't see any home or any residence on Northgate, as long as I serve on this board, ever changing to anything but R1. I make that representation here today. But at the same time, a property owner in any part of the city has the same right as you do to enjoy and use and develop the property that is permitted by the ordinances of this community. And that's something that we have to consider. We all try to respect the rights. You were right the first time that this was inappropriate for R3A. If the city has an ordinance that allows and permits it based on the current comprehensive plan, who should we dictate how a private property owner should use and develop their property? And I understand, Mr. Tejeda, you're very well-spoken, very respected in the legal community, and I think your arguments are very poignant. But in the totality of the circumstances and how we look at progress, we have one board, the Planning and Zoning Commission, approving this. And we understand and take in consideration that there was opposition. And I'll give you a moment, Ms. Pacheco. And I guarantee you that every person on this board has thoughtfully considered this. Every action that we've taken has been thoughtfully considered. And these are difficult decisions, and we listen to you. And I'll let Ms. Pacheco address whatever you need to address.
Really, I'm tired for you to hear from you that you want progress. You don't know what the progress mean. Look, progress is developed to higher, better, more advanced stage. R1, the singles family homes, is the better. You're moving backwards. You're moving to a lower category. If you keep it in R1, that's maintaining the flow of the city in our neighborhood. So don't use, please, the progress. You want to develop, you want to populate, that's fine. But progress, this is not progress. This is going to make worse the problem. I mean, so many. You said, no, he's not going to build that many. But he can do it. 20, you can see Dove and Second Street. You mean that's progress? You ruin all the neighborhood there. They have the right, but you have the power to stop that. I don't think that this is progress. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, with that, I make a motion to approve the request made by the petitioner applicant to rezone the current R1 single-family residential district to R3T.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
I abstain, Mayor.
Motion
Well,
carries.
I already have reclused myself because I have a family member that lives in the area.
Okay, so motion
One
carries.
negative.
So what
By
about-
law, I can't participate.
It carried. You only had
Motion
one vote
carries.
against.
Okay, next item, item C.
Yes, sir. This one's a conditional use permit amendment for life of the use for a planned unit development at Campo de Sueños Phase 2 and 3 at 8300 North Ware Road. This property is located along the east side of North Ware Road, approximately quarter-mile north of Auburn. In total, it's 23.6 acres. Adjacent zoning is R1 to the north, AO to the east and south, and then ETJ to the west. Surrounding uses include single-family home developments, the McAllen Baseball Complex, as well as vacant land. The applicant is proposing to amend Campo de Sueños PUD, which was approved in January of 21, by adding the 118-lot Campo de Sueños 3. Staff received 2 phone calls in opposition to the request, citing concerns over the common area lots. The request was presented at the January 10th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, where it was unanimously recommended for approval.
Anybody speak against the item?
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. My name is Edgar Valdez. I live in Campo de Sueños Phase 2, Lot 56. And I oppose this. Is there a way that I can see the
Map?
Yeah, the map, please. So I'm in Phase 2. Phase 1 was coming off of Ware Road, perfect. It met all requirements, 50-foot lot, width. Everything was fine and dandy. Phase 2, they were still meeting. They changed the design a little bit, little curved roads, which is fine. That's when I bought and moved in. And while Phase 1 was going on and Phase 2, they told us we were going to have a common area at the very end. If you see in your map, which I still can't see, you see that there's a green area. Previous one, please. It's another map where the notice goes out. That one. There's a green area that's common area. I believe it's A or B or one of those where the number 45 is at. And the lots were actually bigger. Now, we move in, we're all moving, Phase 1, Phase 2, and then towards the end, now that it's about to wrap it up, which has already been built and constructed, and everything's out there already built. They got rid of that common area for us, so I don't know what's going on. And by doing some, I saw the plat that was sent to us on the agenda. If you approve this PUD, now you're gonna basically make the whole subdivision non-conforming, because you're gonna have 67 lots that do not meet the 50-foot frontage. You're gonna have a 5-foot side setback, which the minimum is actually 6. You're gonna have one lot not meeting the minimum area, which is at least 5,000, you're gonna be at 4,700. And you're gonna have 3 lots not meeting the driveway width of at least, I think it's 18 feet or 25 feet, depends if it's a two-car garage or something. So I ask that you guys consider this you can see on your exhibit, that doesn't match what the plat is gonna, if you approve this, that means the plat's gonna go through. So either planning didn't do their homework, approved one thing and then they changed it towards the end, or something's going on. But I ask you, I could care less about the exhibit, it's just more on the non-conformity, because if you approve this, you're tying my subdivision to this one, and you're gonna basically create non-conformity out throughout literally all phase 3. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Valdez,
Yes.
so your issue here is that the size, dimensions of the
Yeah,
lots-
because I'm against the PUD completely, because you can call it all you want, or a fancy name, or call it planned unit development, but still, at the end of the day, it's non-conformity.
So in your mind, you would like to see all these lots look like your one in your subdivision?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Minimum 50 feet, meet the setbacks. I know the setbacks can be worked out. I know if they use certain construction materials on the site, they can get approved with a 5 foot. But as far as minimum lot frontage, side, what is it? Lot area and frontage is my main concern.
And the common area you referenced, it's actually smaller now?
Actually, they got rid of it. If you go to the next exhibit, they just completely flat out got rid of it. And that's my concern as well, that we were told as residents, you see right there that it's gone. We were told that we were gonna have a common area, and now that they were about to wrap up the development as a planned unit, they got rid of it. And they're gonna tell you that it's to make the lots longer, but it's not. They're just basically trying to squeeze in more lots. That's all they're doing.
Thank you for bringing that.
Thank you. Anybody else? Applicant, or can you address some of the issues?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other picture had, is this, that's not a
Whoever.
road? No, the road's here. Good evening, Mayor, members of the commission. Mario Reina with Melvin Hunt, project engineer for the developer Riverside Development. So I'm not sure where some of these comments are coming in. When we did this PUD originally, when we did phase 1, right, completely separate project. Phase 2, we came in and we requested variances, some to the side setback, some to the lot width. Later on in this meeting, we're doing the same thing for Harvest Coves, which is another PUD that was just approved. So some of the items brought up have already all been approved and addressed. Phase 2, we left that common area that you see here, what we're calling common area B, because that does touch phase 2. Phase 3, what happened is the developer is selling the lots to Esperanza Homes, who's the only home builder in this development. When people come in, they open up sales 90 days before the plat's recorded. So they opened up sales here in November. But before that, they allow people to come in and get feedback. And the people that they surveyed, they asked them, would you rather a common area or a bigger yard? And unanimously, the feedback was they would like a larger backyard. So that's the reason we're coming back with this amended request. We did get a final plat, a revised final plat approval, so that has already gone through the process. And then the truth of the matter, we're actually losing one lot here. So we're not squeezing in any more lots. That might be a misconception. And Edgar's here to speak to that effect, but we aren't adding any more lots. We're getting larger backyards in that particular area. And Edgar, do you have anything to add? And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Real quick before Edgar asks, common area B, is that gonna be like a retention area or what?
No, sir. The retention area is at the southeast corner. Common area B is just green flatscape. It's not a park. It's just a green area so that residents didn't have anyone in the backyard. And we had proposed that, another area like that, but the people that are actually buying these lots, the people that came in to put these under contracts, when we did the survey, they asked for larger backyards in lieu of this common area. And so this doesn't affect anything to do with phase 2. Like I said, this common area B, if you look at the plat, that's part of phase 3, and we're respecting that because it does touch phase 2.
The only thing I would add is you'll see that Phase 2 has a straight shot on the east side for 33rd Lane, whereas Phase 3 has more coving. That's really the main impetus for the lot widths and as well as the square footage total. I will say that the deficit in square footage from 5,000, they're all around 100. The biggest is, I think, 188. That's about, I'm not an engineer, but around 4.5% of 5,000. So we are thinking it's very minimal. Does it not meet the 5,000? Yes, it doesn't, but we're seeing it as a minimal.
So the PUD is kind of a way to circumvent what we have normally as a.
Correct. It allows for various variances to be approved in one motion, in one development, and give you the control over the number of units and all that.
And is this correct that actually by doing the PUD, this development will actually lose one lot?
They did lose one lot, yes, sir.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Well, was there anybody else?
I'm sorry.
No? Okay. You know,
Sir, you've had your time.
The other case was back and forth.
you know what? That's true.
They were asking.
Yeah, let's just go ahead.
No, we
real
can
quick.
hear you again.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Mr. Valdez.
Thanks. I just want to put in my last word. So like Mario mentioned, yes, they already put them for sale. So at the end of the day, this is why they want to get approved, because if you change it, bottom line, they asked the people that are going to buy what they wanted instead of people that already live there, which is totally, they didn't ask the HOA. I didn't get any HOA notification. Instead of asking the residents already there that pay our HOA, they asked the people that are potential buyers, what do you want? Of course, everybody's going to want a big backyard. And now if you deny this, I'm pretty sure there's already contracts in place. Now they got to go back and tell those buyers, oh, remember that 150-foot backyard you had? Now it's 100. That's what it is. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. There's a motion, there's a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. I need a,
Motion to amend the zoning ordinance?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Consent agenda items A through
G.
Through G. Do we need to pull anything out? If not,
Move
do I
to
hear a
approve
motion
A to G.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 3.
3A is consideration of architectural firms and authorization to negotiate scope and fee schedule with top-ranked firm for the design of City Hall expansion and renovations.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. On January 11th, Purchasing and Contracting received 10 statement of qualifications in response to the solicitation from the above referenced project. The scope of services focus on the design of the expansion and
Make it
renovation.
real easy. Does anybody have any issue with this item?
The only discussion, Mayor, I would make a motion to adopt option 1 that would allow the city commission to have a brief, workshop presentation to hear from the top 3 consultants. Because the recommendation is actually option 2, is just to go with the top 1, right?
That's correct. But you have we left the option, I was going to go through that. You have the option to interview and score yourself. We can bring that at the next meeting if needed.
I think given the scope of the project and the importance that this is a public facility for all our current and future citizens to look at, I think I would like to have a little bit more input on the city commission if there's any objection. And
Well, they're all public facilities, but this one deals more with, I guess, the commission and where we're housed. So, I mean, it's
So
up to you.
it's a $2 million design?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cost for the design? I thought we had moved the money out of the City Hall expansion budget.
No. What we did, Commissioner, is that we recommended that we keep the $2 million for the design and we move the construction money.
Well, that's kind of what I meant, but, so let's say we design the expansion, but we don't have the budget for the actual improvements, then
we'll have it.
Just put it on
Yeah,
the
we
shelf.
have to.
we just put it on the shelf at that point, $2 million.
A certain level of risk, but I believe it's a calculated risk, and I think, given that the City Hall expansion is going to become a necessity at some point, I think we're starting this process at the right time. I do.
Well, I mean, I'm bringing it up for a reason because it's 25 million at least for the expansion of City
Probably.
Hall, and
Probably right.
if we don't have the budget for it, then we're going to have to go out for bonds. I would
Whatever
imagine.
the
Different funding mechanisms for sure, possible.
Whoever the firm is that's awarded the contract, what's the total lead time for them to do what they're supposed to do on the design? How long would that take?
We're looking to try to turn this around in 12 months.
So it would take a full year. So if we wait a year from now until we get the right money, now 2 years have gone.
No, we know what happened to the projects at the park, the parks building, the other building.
Right.
The prices. I mean, if we need to do it, we need to do it now.
Right, I agree. So I make a motion to adopt the option, set forth option one, to allow the mayor and city commission to have formal presentations made, and then at that point.
The only thing I would ask, you want me to limit that to three?
Top three. to
Top
the-
three.
exactly.
Okay.
Well, okay, just so that you know, I saw the rankings, so-called rankings, whatever, above, and really there's 5 firms that are local firms there that are very, very close to each other. So,
Would you want to open up to 5?
just a 5.
I amend my motion to interview and go with the top 5 firms.
We need 2 workshops.
Yeah.
It's
Or
a
special.
$22 million project, folks.
We might need a
Make the right
special,
call.
just a special
Yeah, but
interview session.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
And Mayor, just forgot to mention, but on the consent agenda, I just needed to abstain from item 2G, one of the tax refund companies.
Certainly.
Number 5.
Okay, item 3B.
B is a water contract for the Balboa Acres Stormwater Pump Station.
The existing Balboa Acres stormwater pump station is constructed in the mid-1970s and serves over 400 acres of residential development. The system provides a supplemental means of conveying excess stormwater runoff in the event of adjacent floodgates are closed to prevent backflows from the downstream Mission Inlet drainage channel. The engineer of record, Bettis Consulting Engineers, and staff recommend award as lowest responsive bidder, Moreville LLC of Mission, Texas, in the amount of $1,945,979, with a contract time not to exceed 365 calendar days, and we open it up for any questions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 4.
4A is resolution supporting the proposed LARC community in their application to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for a 9% housing tax credit and providing an in-kind contribution to assist and benefit such community.
Yes, sir. The Rufino Contreras Affordable Housing Corporation is interested in receiving a resolution of support for a proposed 104-unit affordable apartment development for seniors. This is at the northeast corner of Lark and 29th. The resolution would support the developer's application for a TDHCA 9% tax credit application. The proposed development is on an approximately 18.5-acre tract currently zoned AO, so a rezoning would be required for apartments. We do have representatives from the organization here if you'd like to hear from them.
Do you have an address here that I've missed?
2600 Lark is what we have.
Okay. This was not a public hearing?
No.
Yeah, it is.
It is, Mayor, the government code at
Okay.
2306 provides that a county or municipality, as applicable, shall hold a hearing at which public
Does
comment may be
anybody
made.
want to speak regarding this item?
Nope.
Anybody regarding this item? Nope. Commission, any questions?
You have any comments?
The applicant is here, but I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, applicant, does the applicant wish to speak?
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak. I represent the Cesar Chavez Foundation, and we have 3 properties currently in the valley totaling about 500 units, but it has been our goal for years and years to get a property in McAllen, and we feel like this is the time and this is the place. We're proposing a senior project that will be between 104 and 113 units. And we do very beautiful work. I believe I sent all of you an email with our portfolio, and I will send it again. But a couple things that set us apart is that we are a nonprofit, and we hold all of our properties affordable into perpetuity. We do everything from the beginning to the entire lifetime of the property. I'm here today, obviously, because we're trying to start the development. We will also do our own construction and property management. And we have a program called Si Se Puede, which brings social services into the building for all of our residents. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Questions? Questions, comments?
No questions.
Okay. Anybody else? For or against? Yes, sir.
Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, my name is Henry Flores. I represent the next organization being considered for a resolution, the McAllen Housing Authority. And I want to make the observation that I'm a fan of Cesar Chavez Foundation. They do some wonderful work, but I'm a bigger fan of the McAllen Housing Authority. And unfortunately, the situation that the city finds itself in is that there are $22 million of requests for funds under this program in this region. There's only $6.4 million available. The top three applicants are each applying for $2 million each. So the top three applicants will win the $6 million. The number one applicant is the Brownsville Housing Authority, led by Carla Mancha. The second deal is the transaction that's being proposed. The third is a deal in Mission. The fourth is the McAllen Housing Authority. So if the City Commission chooses to support both applicants, only one will be selected, and it will not be your housing authority. I would suggest that it's a difficult proposition, but having to choose between a national nonprofit that has never done a transaction in your community and the McAllen Housing Authority that has done 6 communities here using the tax credit program. Starting back in 2006, I was a developer. I am the developer in this transaction. They have selected me. Mr. Ramirez, the director, unfortunately is on travel, could not be here today, but he sends his regrets. The members of the commission, their commissioners, and send their regards. Difficult proposition. But again, the choice is support the McAllen Housing Authority or support Cesar Chavez. Unfortunately, if you support both, then the McAllen Housing Authority will not receive an allocation this year. They are one of the more prolific housing authorities in the state of Texas, having done 6 transactions in your community. We have done 4 transactions here. So between my private corporation, which is acting on their behalf, and the McAllen Housing Authority, we've done 10 transactions in this community versus 0. Again, difficult choice. I spent 15 years in local government. I know this is not an easy situation, but I wanted to be clear that I wanted to be sure that you had all the facts on this matter.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that tidbit of information, Mr. Flores. Was not aware.
Can I speak again?
Sure.
So I just want to add that TDHCA is ultimately the decider of who's going to win. So the city of McAllen does not have to take the awkward position of choosing one or the other. Like, in my opinion, if you support both of them, you've done your duty, you've expressed your opinion of developments you want in your community, let the state decide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion on this item?
I would make a motion to oppose the resolution.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
2 opposed. 2. I'll vote. I'll vote
You had
against.
3 in favor. and
3 in
five
favor. Okay.
So the motion
So
carries.
4 in favor, 2 against. Motion passes.
B is a resolution supporting the proposed VIAs at Primrose Community in their application to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for 9% housing tax credit, providing an in-kind contribution. Can you also give us the address, sir?
That one I don't have, sir. It is based off of where, but I don't have it handy. So that one is in partnership with the McAllen Housing Authority. Again, they're interested in receiving a resolution of support for a 113 unit affordable housing development for seniors. It's about 250 feet south of Buddy Owens. The resolution, again, would support the developer's application for a TDHCA 9% tax credit. This one would also need a rezoning as it is currently C3L, and it is a 4.25 acre tract.
And,
Again, Henry Flores, Matt House Development, on behalf of the McAllen Housing Authority. Just to answer any questions, again, it's an unfortunate situation, and TDHCA does ultimately decide the situation. I was actually the first director of TDHCA under Ann Richards and George Bush, so I understand their criteria very well. I'm quite confident, and I think staff has confirmed, that there's only $6.4 million, and selections are pretty clear. The McAllen Housing Authority deserves your support. We'll use all those resources to serve your residents, and more importantly, the net proceeds from those transactions will also stay in this community. Sister Chavez does some wonderful work across the country, but they do work across the country, and not all the resources will stay here. The chair, El Estrada, Vice Chair Tito Salinas, Mr. Ronnie Cruz, Mark David Garcia, and Crystal Garcia all send their regards, and again, ask for your support. I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, I think there was a question about an address. This is actually unplatted land, so there isn't no address. It is just off the intersection, right next to Frost Bank, if you know where Frost Bank is.
Mr. Flores, there's actually two types of awards. Is it 13% and 9%, or?
You are correct, sir, but these are competing transactions in the 9% program.
Okay, the 9%. So there's a 9% and 4%. Okay,
That's
so
correct.
there's
There's a
This is
nine,
a
like
This is a
the,
light tech deal.
Okay.
move to approve.
Second.
Just one last question. And where are you in the ranking right now?
We're in fourth place.
Four.
So we'll end up in third place. They fund 3, so we'll be in funding range.
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
There being a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Mayor and members of the commission, we recommend approval of the resolutions 4C through 4H.
They're all
Those are
resolutions for
grant
grants.
applications.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Item 5.
5A is consideration of variance request for 1, north-south quarter-mile collector, 2, east-west quarter-mile collector, 3, block length requirement, 4, maximum cul-de-sac length at 2501 North Ware Road.
Thank you, sir. So Harvest Cove Phase 1 is a 101-lot, single-family home development. Phase 2 is a 99-lot, single-family home development. The proposed subdivisions are located on the west side of North Ware Road, approximately 650 feet north of Warrior Drive. Together, they total approximately 36.1 acres. Project engineer, on behalf of the owner, submitted 4 variance requests: north-south quarter-mile collector, east-west quarter-mile collector, block length requirement, and maximum cul-de-sac length. The basis for number 1 is that the property to the south is being developed as a private subdivision, while the one to the north, there is a connection being given to 40th Street. The basis for request number 2 is that no dedication was acquired from the subdivisions to the north, and the development will be providing a residential road connecting 43rd and Ware. Variance number 3 is that there are no stub outs due to the existing configurations other than North 40th Street, so to provide a connection isn't really feasible. And then variance 4 is that the requested phase 1 is going to be recorded before phase 2. So it'll need the cul-de-sac variance basically as a median term. But once phase 2 gets approved, it'll meet our requirements. The development departments did review the requests, and they are generally supportive. The memo does have a mention that Fire was requesting 40 feet of paving. Since then, I have talked to Chief Gloria. He's okay with 32. So as such, there are 4 options before you. Staff is recommending option 1, which is approval as requested.
Approval, motion to approve as requested.
Second.
All in favor? Against? Motion carries.
And I'm also reclusive myself from this one.
6A is advisory board appointments, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. The item before you is for advisory board appointments for terms that ended December 31st of 2023. Mayor Villalobos has nominated Mike Stanton to the Airport Advisory Board, Jesse Barba to the Civil Service Commission, Donna Carla Goldemmer to Convention Center, Jacqueline Villarreal to the Historic Preservation Council, Francisco Mesa, McAllen Housing Authority, Crystal Garcia, McAllen Housing Authority, Aldo Flores, McAllen Housing Finance Corporation, Gabriel Camel, Planning and Zoning, Commissioner Zamora has nominated Kevin Pagan to the Airport Advisory Board, Brendan Wallace to the Airport Advisory Board, Erica Perez to CDBG, Melissa Martinez to the Convention Center, Jason Leal to the Development Corporation Board as a new appointment. Just a reminder that for this appointment, we do need approval from the entire commission. That's just a nomination that was made. Chelsea Howell to the Disability Board as a new appointment. Jorge Zamora, I'm sorry, Jorge Zamora has termed out. I haven't received the nomination for that. Chelsea Howell to KMB. Missy Cardenas Barajas, McAllen Housing Finance Corporation. Veronica Whitaker to Parks and Recreation Board. David Maruguin to Senior Citizens Advisory Board. Orlando Esquivel, Traffic Commission. Ann Taffel to ZBOA. Daniel Santos was nominated to ZBOA as a new appointment. Also that we do need the entire commission approval. Same thing for Hugo Avila to ZBOA, and that's by the entire commission. And Rogelio Rodriguez, ZBOA, and I would need the entire commission approval. Commissioner Quintanilla has appointed Luis Figueroa to BBOA, Matthew Gabriel to Community Development Council, Daniel Santos and Antafel, those appear on the reports as well because we need the entire commission, as well as Hugo Avila and Rogelio Rodriguez. Commissioner Aguirre nominated. Let's see. On yours, Commissioner, it's the same. It's the entire commission. It's Antafel, Daniel Santos, Hugo Avila, and Rogelio Rodriguez. That's to ZBOA, but I need the entire commission's approval. Commissioner Castillo, Lucia Regalado to the Airport Advisory Board, Norma Guevara to Airport Advisory Board, Rene Garcia, that's the new appointment to the Ambulance Board, Robert Haddad, Convention Center, Marisa Pesina, Disability Board, Jesse Maldonado, McAllen Housing Finance Corporation, and Annette Villalobos to the Parks and Recreation Board. Commissioner Haddad to the Airport Advisory Board, Anita Moon, Margaret Rose Guerra to Airport Board, Daniel Tuttle, a new appointment to Ambulance Evaluation Committee, Mark Millis to the BBOA, Karen Valdez to CDBG, and Leonel Lani Guerrero to CDBG, Rebecca Ramirez, nomination to the Convention Center Board, Carolina Civarolo to Historic Preservation Council, Rogelio Aleman to Keep McAllen Beautiful, Lauro Tijerina to the Library Advisory Board, Mark Murray to the McAllen Housing Finance Corporation, Richard Sanchez to Parks and Rec, Nicolas Pardo to the Traffic Commission, and Commissioner Cabeza de Vaca, you nominated Emma Maria Montes Ewing to the Ambulance Evaluation Board, and former Mayor Jim Darling to the McAllen Housing Finance Corporation. And then the last four, Daniel Santos, Hugo Avila, Juan Mujica, and Rogelio Rodriguez, are the nominations to ZBOA by the entire board. All the rest that have termed out and don't have nominations on your reports, if I just remind you that they continue serving until those successors have been appointed, so they continue attending meetings. They stay on.
Do I have a motion
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have investment report.
Good evening, Mayor and City Commission. The investment report before you is for the quarter ending September 30th, 2023. The investment report was prepared in accordance with the Public Funds Investment Act and in accordance with the city's investment policy. The report was presented to the Investment Audit Committee and was approved January 25th, 2024. This is September 30th is the end of our fiscal year. Just want to highlight a few items. For the year ending fiscal year 2023, the city's ending book value was $503 million, compared to our 2022 book value, which was $472 million. So we had a $31 million increase in cash investments year over year from fiscal year 2022 to fiscal year 2023. I'd like to point that our yield to maturity for that quarter was 4.25, which is a 2.5% increase over the prior fiscal year, which we had a 1.76%. And the yield to maturity for the year for fiscal year 2023 was 3.7%, a 2.82% improvement over 2022. A lot of these improvements were attributable to the Fed's increase in the federal funds rate. We will incur an unrealized loss of $4.4 million. This is not a real loss. It's an accounting transaction we do, marking up our investments to market value. Even though it is an unrealized loss, it is an improvement over the prior year, which we had a 7.4. Also as a result of the Fed's increasing the funds rate about 5 times back in 2022. On a good note, we also have investment income for the year ending fiscal year 2023 was about $18.4 million. This is a $15.3 million increase over 2022 when our investment income was about $3.1 million. I'll take any questions, and if there are none, staff does recommend approval of the report.
Any questions?
No, I think the maturity distribution is pretty tight, so any of those unrealized losses will recoup our principal anyway and reinvest it. So
Correct. We're pretty liquid.
yeah, exactly, pretty liquid. That's right. I approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Immigration. Same old right now?
Same old numbers. 6 weeks ago were just under 300 average per day. They dropped pretty low, down to 110 per day 5 weeks ago. They've been creeping up steadily ever since. Over the last 2 weeks, we have averaged 192 immigrants per day dropped off by Border Patrol and Customs. Our COVID positivity rate is 2.7% over the last 2 weeks, which is a reduction over what it has been in the past. Anzaduas Park has a population right now of under 100 and a capacity of 900, and we can increase that rapidly if necessary. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
No?
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Future agenda items, we have McAllen, Chines, Commissioner Castillo, EFT convenience fees, Commissioner Zamora, Ordinance Review Committee, Commissioner Zamora. Do we need anything?
I just want to get an update, and I think also Commissioner Quintanilla about a month ago had asked an update on the street lights and the traffic lights.
Yeah.
But that could be through a memo or
I
whatever.
want to say that went out on a Friday.
I did go out on Friday packet.
Yeah.
This past Friday?
No,
No, the last couple weeks.
All right, let me look.
Let me
didn't
find
read
it and I'll
Well,
forward
I
it.
know, I received it too, and I saw it, but I didn't like what I saw. That's the thing. There's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of work to be done, and how do we get, how do we get better response either from AEP or from Magic Valley or from
Okay.
ourselves?
We'll bring it to workshop.
Yeah,
If you could
okay,
just forward that to me.
We'll bring it to workshop.
please.
Okay, then we'll recess into executive session. through.
Okay.
Is it on?
If you want it.
We're good?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we're back from executive session. Council, what do we have?
Mayor, with respect to item 7A1, I recommend the City Commission authorizing city manager and city attorney to execute any and all documents to, what was this? Accept the offer for the purchase of real property as described in the executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
And with respect to item 7A2, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to sell the real property on the terms described in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Mayor, I don't recommend action on 7B right now. That was provided as a report. Don't recommend action on item 7C. That was provided as a litigation report. With respect to item 7D, that was provided as a litigation report. With respect to item 7E, I recommend that the City Commission consider a motion authorizing the city manager to negotiate those documents reasonable and necessary to support the economic development agreement as described in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
With respect to item 7F, Mayor, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to continue negotiations with respect to the animal shelter on the terms described in executive session.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
And Mayor, I recommend no action on item G, that was 7G, that was provided for information purposes.
Okay, that was the last one.
Yes, sir.
There being no further business, the
Wait,
meeting
wait.
is adjourned. Yes,
The
sir.
spirit of McAllen says,
Oh,
come on.
If we can, we will.
Let's go.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.
If you would,